Okay, so our next case is between Instacart and Amazon Fresh. So let's take a look at these two companies. So on each of these two websites, if you are a consumer, you may order food materials and grocery items to get these items shipped to your door. Okay, so you stay at home and then someone would go in to buy some products and then send that to you, pretty much in that sense. So if you go to Amazon Fresh website, which is operating in a few cities, Seattle, San Francisco, and so on. There you may see banana and you may see onions and those things that you may want to purchase as eggs, as meat, seafood, and fresh produce, and so on and so on. Okay. If you go to Instacart, lemon, broccoli, onion again, and many other related things. All right. So you may see that basically those are the things that you may want to purchase from supermarket and so on and so on. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. So Amazon was founded in 1994, and Amazon Fresh was launched and getting popular. I should say, be started in several different cities, roughly in 2013 or something. Instacart basically was founded also around 2015 and 13, something like that. Okay, and it's hard for us to imagine this kind of delivery service in some sense. All right. At least if you go back to 1994, if you ask Amazon why at the beginning they deliver books and then they deliver apparels and so on and so on, it's up to very late so that they deliver milk, onion, broccoli, meat, whatever. Why is that? Because these food materials, groceries, they are perishable products. All right. So that means you need refrigerator, you need special truck, and you need special warehouse so that you may deal with these perishable products. That's very difficult. So maybe you now want to ask, well, this guy is a logistic giant, right? And Instacart is a startup. So you open a startup and try to do a very difficult thing, and you try to beat the giant in industry. Why Instacart wants to do that? In particular, Instacart was selected as the top one promising startup in the United States in 2015 by Forbes magazine. So indeed, there must be something special for Instacart. Well, I guess you already know it. The founder was interviewed and said that, okay, our company may offer the service more cheaper than Amazon, because we don't store or refrigerate our own food. We don't actually own any food. We simply have a team of some contract workers like Uber drivers, like those Uber Eats or Foodpanda drivers. They simply go to Safeway, Trader Joe's, Costco, Whole Foods, all those supermarkets to buy products and deliver to your home. In that sense, Instacart don't need to worry about inventory, don't need to worry about warehouse, don't need to hire full-time drivers, and then they will be able to start their business just by being a multi-sided platform. So obviously, Amazon Fresh, who purchase their own products, store their own products, own those inventory, price their products, deliver to consumers. Amazon Fresh is a merchant. Instacart, on the contrary, is a platform. So it may be interesting for you to see that actually for Instacart, in some cities, they actually already hire full-time workers to do the delivery service. And in many cities, what they do is that they have deliverer and they have shopper. Okay, so whenever there is one consumer makes an order, the order is delivered or dispatched to one deliverer who drives or who ride a motorcycle, and then there's another thing passed to the shopper. The shopper always stay in the convenience in the supermarket. The shopper is going to pick up broccoli, pick up lemons, put them into a bag, check out, and then go to the door front, to pass that to the deliverer. The deliverer then ships to the consumer. And in many cities, these are part-time workers, just like Uber Eats drivers. And for shoppers, they are full-time workers. Okay, so that's a model that is that in many cases are used by Instacart. But anyway, you know this is not the most important part, right? The most important part is that Instacart is actually utilizing those existing retail stores. All right? Those retail stores already take care of the inventory thing, the warehouse thing, the refrigerator thing, and they are somewhat close to consumers, right? So Instacart, in some sense, is really doing a smart business in some sense. So maybe you would be worrying about whether those part-time deliverers is going to destroy your food, because regarding a merchant is always better in some sense regarding quality, right? But regarding the delivery quality, even though Amazon hire full-time professional truck drivers, I guess you don't worry too much about the delivery quality from Instacart. Because if you go to a nearby supermarket to buy the things by yourself, you simply ship the products just like a deliverer would do. You still use your very typical motorcycle, scooter, or car. There's no refrigerator, right? But you still feel okay because that's just a few minutes, all right? So regarding platform, you also have some benefits. What's that? You know that we have wide selection or we have diversity, all right? So you're going to be able to see more kinds of products on Instacart because Instacart simply send the consumer to Safeway, Trader Joe's, Costco's, and all kinds of different retailers selling different kind of broccoli, different kind of lemons, potatoes, and so on and so on. However, do you think this is a very important thing regarding this grocery delivery service? Well, I don't know, but I guess on your website, you probably just need 5 types or 7 types of broccoli. You don't need 1 million different kinds of broccoli for people to select from, I guess. So maybe these two issues, these two perspectives are not the most important when you think about their profitability. So 5 seconds, maybe you want to think about which one is going to win, which one is more promising. If you have money, which one from where you would buy some stocks? Okay, so let me share my perspective. So the thing is that let's consider the price or the pricing for the products. In particular, let's ask the question, where do you think the price would be lower? Do you think for the same product, will you get a lower price on Instacart or will you get a lower price on Amazon Fresh? Well, it depends. It indeed depends. So for Instacart, the cost structure is that they have some advantage because they don't need to deal with the inventory warehouse or all those things. All right. So in that case, Instacart is doing the service in a cheaper way. So Instacart, in some sense, is able to give you a lower price. That's possible. However, Instacart actually cannot control the price. Cannot fully control the price. Even though Instacart indeed adjust price, and they don't need to guarantee that on the website they have the same price as in the shelf space. However, they still need to somehow align with those products, right? Because they still need to pay those retail price to obtain those products. So basically, regarding pricing, Amazon Fresh has the full right in pricing their products. So that's one thing. Also, Safeway, Trader Joe's, blah, 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 they are retailers. These retailers purchase from farmers, for example, and then sell to, in some sense, Instacart, or bypass Instacart to sell to consumers. I shouldn't say they sell to Instacart. That's not the case. They use Instacart to sell to consumers in some sense. On the contrary, if you think about farmers and then Amazon Fresh and then consumers, Actually, in the second supply chain, you have fewer layers. On Amazon, it's more like you are purchasing products in some kind of wholesale price, while on Instacart, you are actually purchasing in a retail price. So it's indeed still possible that for Amazon to provide a cheaper price. Well, then which one is going to happen? It depends on the stage. So let's think about the following thing. Suppose this is the number of demands or number of transactions, orders you have in a day. So maybe at the beginning for each day you have 10 orders, and then a few months later for each day you have 100 orders. A few years later you have 1,000 orders, and more and more, and one day you get 1 million demand or orders per day. That's possible. Okay? And here is the average cost you need to pay to fulfill that service, fulfill all those demands. Okay? So if you are thinking about Instacart, that's pretty much linear. So for each delivery, you pay $5 to the deliverer. 2 deliveries, $10. 3 deliveries, $15. And even if you really have a lot of sales, you just have no way to bargain with those farmers, right? Because Safeway, Trader Joe's, this the purchase. You don't really have a way to bargain with the source. However, if you are Amazon, it's going to be something like this, all right? At the beginning, Amazon is really at a cost disadvantage because all those warehouse refrigerators, trucks, they are costly. But once you already get a lot of demands, then those things will become not so difficult for you to do, and your deliverers is going to serve a lot of consumers just in one truck delivery. All right? So in those sense, once you have a lot of purchase, a lot of demands, you have a strong bargaining power. You're going to talk about the farmers to get some discounts. That makes sense. And basically, when you see a cost shape or cost curve like this, that's what? That's economy of scale. All right? If you hope that when you grow big, you want to utilize, you want to enjoy economy of scale, basically, you need to be a merchant. Being a platform is still possible, but not so strong. Okay, being a platform is not so easy for you, not so direct for you to utilize economy of scale. On the contrary, being a platform is also having some benefit, right? There's a term called economy of scope. As a platform, you have a wider scope. You have wider selection, more products for you to select from. And in that sense, that's economy of scope. It's easier for you to have a wider scope. So for this particular service, grocery delivery, I guess you would agree that economy of scale is more important when we all grow up. So in that sense, well, if you are owning Instacart, what will you do? Initially, it's nice to be a platform, but if you are really popular among consumers, what will you do? You will start to build your own warehouse, build your own logistics, and then you become some kind of mixture. On your website, there are still Safeway, Trader Joe's, Costco section, but you have your own section, some kind of Instacart select. That makes sense, right? So one thing I want to say regarding this case is that business models are dynamic. You may want to review your business model from time to time when time goes by, when the condition is changed. One business model can be good in one situation, but be bad in another situation, of course. So we do see examples. Amazon. Amazon originally is a merchant, but one day it becomes a merchant plus a marketplace, right? It becomes a mixture. On the contrary, Instacart. If you are really playing Instacart, one day, I believe, it will go from a pure MSP to also a mixture. It makes sense, okay? So I'm not saying that for grocery delivery, you should always do you should always be a merchant. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's good to initially be a platform, and when one day you are big enough, add yourself the merchant flavor. That's going to be even better in some sense. Okay? So business models are dynamic. They should be dynamically changed when necessary. And in this particular example, think about economy of scale and economy of scope.